Hi everyone, it's Justine here from House of Mahalo. Thanks so much for joining me. We're going to be working on my altered book again today. So we're working on this page, and originally I thought it was going to be a top loader pocket here. So I cut a divot. Me being me, I've changed my mind, and instead I want to try something different as a bit of an experiment. Okay, so in my stash, I found this piece of packaging, which I've used before. I got some stickers in this. I'm not going to use this exact one because it's not quite right for here. But what I did was I put it down onto the paper like this, and I realised that it was the exact right size to make some kind of a window in the page. So what we're going to have in the window, I think, is this owl. Don't know if you can see that, but he fits really, really nicely framed in there. So we're going to do that. So what I did just to prepare was I have traced around this window. Now originally I thought I was going to use this packaging, so I added an extra ½ centimetre all the way around, but I've changed my mind about that, and instead we're just going to simply cut it to this size. And I'll use some different plastic packaging, something lighter as well and less bulk. So, do you fancy having a bit of an experiment with me? Hopefully the answer is yes. So, I want to use this piece. I feel like this wood around the owl would look really nice. But I accidentally misjudged where to trim the paper. And I want to cover this this notch. So what I'm going to do instead is move the paper up, kind of like that. And then at the bottom here, I was thinking I might just like pop in some brown paper like that, so it kind of draws away from the fact that it's you know, incorrectly sized. We're just going to sort of see if it works. And so I'm doing this part first, and then I'm going to cut the window. And I drew on the back side of the paper here so that I can turn it over and use this. Okay, so I'm going to get this glued down first. I'm just going to use my glue stick for this. Oops. There we go. So yeah, a bit of an experiment day. But the great thing about these altered books is there's just so many different things that you can do. And I guess the way that I like to do things all the time is just, I like to just give things a really good go. And it either works or it doesn't, but at least I tried it, right? And especially with a project that, you know, I'm only going to do this once or twice. Like I think I will do more altered books, but I mean in terms of once or twice a year, you know. So I might as well just give it a really good go straight away, right off the bat, which yeah, I'm leaping out of my comfort zone as per usual. Right, so I'm gonna have that at the top, so don't know if we can bring this down. Oops. This is just some packing paper left over from last time. Okay. But yeah, I just thought I would show that part because sometimes it's useful to see, just to see, you know, to show that once you make a decision, you don't have to stick with it. It's easier and quicker if you do, but it's not, you know, if you change your mind, you change your mind. I think when I do another altered book, I won't cut divots in things until I know for sure that is how I want the pocket to be, because I think sometimes, you know, especially if you're trying all different types of pages and different things, you sort of, you get inspired as you go, don't you, in terms of what you're going to do. And so yeah, that's where the changing the mind comes from. Oops. Right, so I'm just going to move this up so that I can cover up as much of that divot as possible. Need another tissue. Okay. I might even put, maybe I'll even put washi. I've got some nice woodland washi. Maybe I'll even use that at the bottom. Okay, so let me just get my edges. The usual story. I don't like to go to the edges with the collage because it can gloop out everywhere, and it's not nice, it's not pretty. I really need to get some art glitter glue, really, because then I can go to the edges without worrying about it. But I just don't want to pay that kind of money. Like, you know, half the reason why I loved junk journals was because you don't need lots of money, or you don't need to buy all these things to make them. Like, you can make some amazing things just with what you've got in the house, you know, and that's what I loved about it. So I guess I'm just not wanting to spend that much money on a glue, you know, as great as it might be. It's a big expense. But anyway, here we go. Okay. Right, so we have that. So yes, the reason I've done it this way is because I only want to cut the window once. Because, you know, yeah, cut once rather than multiple times, so that it all hopefully goes to plan. Okie dokie. So I'm going to leave that for now. Obviously adding washi and whatnot we'll do once we've got the window part done. So I'm actually going to use, this is a book board. The book fell apart and I was going to use this as a writing board anyway. So I'm thinking about putting that under to protect my pages. That's another reason I'm doing it on this side, is because A, I'm right-handed, and B, I haven't done anything in this part of the book. So if something does slip and go wrong, I wouldn't have ruined the pages that I've already done. Okay, now here's the the bit that flashes up on the screen that says, don't try this at home, don't follow in my footsteps for doing this, because yeah, I'm not I'm not the person to watch. I just need to snap my blade. Oop. Get a nice fresh blade. Right, here we go. Wish me luck. So I'm using my ruler, and I know you're not supposed to do it towards you, but I just don't want to slip, so I feel like this is just easier for me. Oops, she says. It doesn't have to be perfect. It does not have to be perfect. So I went slightly off the line just there, but that's okay. It does not matter. You're going to be distracted by the owl once we have the owl in there. So I am going, you know, heavy enough to make the cut, but obviously I'm being very conscious of not wanting to ruin any papers or anything. So I don't want to go through my book or anything. I'm just taking my time. And it's not going to be perfect, and that's fine. Okay, right, let's see. Did I go through there? I have, but I will need to go in with some scissors, but that's okay. The main part is we've got most of the cut done, I think. I'm just going to put your book board back. I'm just gonna get the bits that I missed. But you didn't expect to see me doing this today. Trust me, neither did I. That's the great thing about these projects, is you just get an idea for something and you just want to try it, don't you? Okay, I've gone through the book page but not the digital, so okay, there we go, that one's clear. As I say, I'm just taking my time, so bear with as I just make sure I've got all my cuts done. My first time doing anything like this as well. So there we go, and just that last corner now, just this bit just here, going through the ruler. Okay, I think we're good. Let's just tuck that. Right, got it. Okay. Whew, right, breathe. And all of you can breathe now as well. We did not go through my book. The book board worked, and I'll just show you. I was using this side, and you can see the indents, but not by very much at all. So I can still use this as a writing board because I was going to cover this with paper anyway. So that's that. That is our window. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in with my little scissors just to make sure that, you know, it's all neat and everything, or neater, just little bits like that. And then I'm going to ink inside the window, and then we will figure out how to get the owl in there. So I'll be right back. Okay, right, we're ready. So I'm just using a cello bag for the packaging. I think I've already part used this one, so we just want to get enough in there to cover the window. So I'm just going to cut along here. Now, this is just a decorative page for me. You could absolutely turn this into a pocket or something really cool if you were a bit cleverer than me. No, I'm just kidding. It's just, you could. I'm choosing not to because I don't want to make the page too weak. You know, I think we've got plenty of pockets and things elsewhere in the journal. I'm just going to trim off a little bit more because I don't want it in the spine too much. All right, and then we're going to glue that with our beacon or Fabri-Tac. So I'm just going to ever so carefully just go around the window. My usual, not too close because I don't want the glue to seep out everywhere. Like that. Could even use vellum for this, that would be nice. Okay. Just check in. Yep. Okay, and as I mentioned, I want this owl in the window. So I'm just going to chop the sides off. I think this is going to be too wide as a piece at the moment, but I just want to be able to position him. Oh, doesn't he look perfect? So I can take off just a tad from this side. So that we can sneak him in there. I've got a fly buzzing around here. Just trying to decide. Just going to take a tad off this side. This is a Gordon Benningfield book page. Beautiful, beautiful owl. And that's going to go in there like that. Okay, so I think I will glue this piece. So I'm just going to glue around, I'm going to glue around the outside of this one, just a thin bead, like that. Oops. And then I'm going to glue around the window, and then that should catch it in 2 different places, which, because it's not a pocket or anything, it's just a decorative piece, that should be plenty. So let's bring him in. Right, try and get him in the right place. Oops. Oops, no. Hang on 2 secs. I've got a bit too much glue on one side. Sorry about that. I was just doing my usual. I was getting glue absolutely everywhere. So I'm going to go around the window. And I'm just going to leave it as that for the moment. And then I can just simply focus on getting this owl where I want him. If you do get any glue on your plastic, then just arrange things and just, yeah, take your time with it. Because what I forget is actually, because we're going to glue, oops, we're going to glue this page to this page, you don't really need a lot of glue for that owl anyway. What do you think? Beautiful framed there. I'm glad I went with the wood effect paper. Definitely. So I'm just giving that a good press down, just to make sure I get rid of any glue blobs. And that is essentially what I wanted for that page. Oops. There we go. Not ready to glue those together yet. There we go. I'm sure there was probably an easier way to do that, but it's fine. It worked fine. So now, because this is not going to be a pocket, I mean, it absolutely could have been. It could be a pocket, but do I want to use it as a pocket? Part of me does, part of me doesn't, and the part of me that doesn't is saying, because would that like affect the owl over time? So I think until I'm more comfortable with this sort of stuff, I'm just going to glue the pages together and just have it be a nice strong page. So just like before, we're going to take our glue down the spine, and then this time we can go all the way around. Oops. Like that, and then I'm just going to put a thin layer over this part. It should be plenty. And then because we're gluing the 2 pages, I'm going to lift them up, because I think that will be easier to keep them in the same place as each other. And if I need to go in with extra glue, then we can, can't we? Okay, there we go. Those pages are joined together now. I love that. Oh, brilliant. And I mean, you could do this with a journal page. Absolutely. The difference with the altered book is that because you've got a page like in between, you know, you don't see the back of the frame. Whereas in a journal page, you might have to do some trickery to change that up, but really beautiful. I should have made it into a shaker. No, I'm just kidding. I don't think the owl needs a shaker. But if you were doing like a Christmas altered book, my goodness, I'd be putting a shaker in that, that's for sure. Right, so what are we going to do on this page? So we need it to be a writing spot, because otherwise there's no journaling on here. So I've got the rest of the wood grain, which we might use. I had another scrap somewhere from last time, which kind of goes. They're obviously only scraps, they're half pages, so I was wondering whether we could maybe do a nice bit of collage of some kind. And I've got the rest of the brown packing paper, so no time like the present. I'm just going to tear and see what happens, and this will either be an amazing idea or not. Okay. But yeah, I just like the idea of all the pages just being different and just going with the flow and just, yeah, doing what you want to do, basically. Okay, now just gonna give that a torn edge. There we go. And it was a bit too torn. It's because I'm tearing backwards, and this thick presentation paper has real troubles with like, it's almost like it's hard to explain. What words am I trying to use? You get like the grain of the paper goes against you. It's really weird to explain, and I probably am not using the right terminology, but I'm sure some of you will get what I'm trying to say. I'm just going to... Right. So, what can we do with these pieces that we've got then? So, I could put the wood grain here so that, you know, it's separated from, otherwise that would be, well, I suppose it's, yeah, all right, we'll put it there, because then the wood grain is like continuing on, isn't it? Something like that. So that piece was here. Like that. And then if we get the brown, I don't know if the brown will be the right thing, but I'm just trying to think what else I could use. Let's just see. Something like that. And something like that. Or we put the brown paper on top, probably. So we want to give this more of a interesting shape. Hang on, let me just check. I think my husband's loitering outside. Sorry about that, I'm back. My husband just wanted to print his packing labels. So I think I'm going to go with something like that. I decided to go against the brown packing paper because it just wasn't working for me. So this is actually the back of the owl scrap that I thought would just sort of fit in there somewhere, and then we can, you know, put some more things on here. So I'm just going to go with that. So I'm just going to give all these a really good inking. As I say, I don't want all the pages to be the same, of just matting them all and everything. That would be a lot easier and quicker. But I'm having so much fun just playing that I just want to, you know, try all these different things and just, yeah, just have a go at different things and just, yeah, have fun with it. So that's what we're doing. Okay, so I think we'll get the, just trying to think what paper we need to get down first. I think this one comes first, doesn't it? Oops. Okay, so I'm just going to use the Collaging, nice and quick. So I hope you like that owl. I think he looked so cute in that frame. Oh goodness. And it's fun because you're only doing, well, I'm only doing a couple of pages at a time, aren't I? And it kind of feels like you do your best work each time, because even though I've done a few pages today, because I only get a day or two of filming per week, as many of you know. So although I am doing several pages in one day, I don't know, I think because I'm doing them as separate videos, I kind of feel like I'm coming to each one like refreshed and ready to do my best work, rather than sort of tired and just doing the same thing over and over again. That's kind of how it feels, which is really nice. So yeah. So let's go. Sorry, it's a really not very nice sound. There we go. Just want to make sure I get this in the right place. So as I say, I'm just trying to cover up the text in this instance, in this case. I don't want anything detracting from our beautiful owl. There we go. So for this page, as I mentioned, I want to try and get a tuck spot in here, so that it can, you know, work as, you know, you can then put a couple of journaling spots in it or something, to make up for the fact that I didn't turn the window into a pocket, which, as I say, you probably could do, and if I were to do it again, I probably would try. It's just decided not to today. As I say, because this is my first one, it is also hard to know how much you can push the pages in terms of like when is it too much, if that makes sense. I think that's an important learning curve in this as well, and that's just going to come with practice. You know, yes, people can give you information on what might be best, but I feel like with this type of a project, the best way to learn is by doing. Because there's just, yeah, so many different things you can do, but some of them might be good ideas, some of them might not be as good. And it's just a case of just going until you figure out, you know, what's the right way to go and what's not so much. Right, just getting these last little corners and edges. And then, yeah, we need to think about this tuck spot. Sorry, just it's because I don't want to keep pausing the video. There we go. All right, I think that looks fine. Okie dokie. Right, so I really want to use this box. Sort of, you can write here and here. So I don't want to take away from that, and I don't want to have these two compete, because I do want the focus to be on the owl, and then you can have the journaling spot. So I actually really like the fox just there. And then you could journal around him. you could. The other option is to have something down below. Which I do like, but not as much. Got a little hedgehog, which again I like, but I just really like this fox. I'm biased towards the fox perhaps, but I really like him. And I feel like it covers up any like hinky edges and stuff. Like whenever I do like collaging, I always like to have, yeah, to cover up edges of things, because then I feel like everything kind of flows together a bit better. I was going to have him as a tuck spot because, you know, we can't journal here. I mean, you could, I suppose you could journal around the outside, but you're not going to get much. So I did want him to be a tuck spot. Not for anything heavy, again, just for some note paper. But having him in the middle, he can still be a tuck spot, can't he? Like you could tuck something up here. You could even have a tuck spot on, like you could have a tuck there and a tuck there maybe. Like if you were to glue in the middle, that could be something different to try, couldn't it? I'm going to do it because I really, really like him there. So, right, let's think about this one then. So, we want a glue line in the middle like that. And we want a glue line sort of around this bend, I think. So, let's try the bend. So, around the bend and then sort of kind of like that. I mean, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's just a nice decoration, but is that right? Yeah, you're going to have a tuck spot there and you can have a tuck spot there, and that's right. It's almost like he's framed as well. Oh, I love him. This is a pack from Hobbycraft earlier this year. Or was it last year? Sometime recently they did a really good collaboration with an artist, and it was like a woodland wanderers type thing. Right, so what else do these pages need? So, oh, that's nice, isn't it? And so Autumn Whispers in the Wind actually comes from a poem. I think it's an Oscar Wilde poem, but don't quote me on that because I can't actually remember, but I saw it and thought, oh, beautiful line. And I'm thinking, because he's an owl, he's in the wind and he's the colour of autumn and stuff, so I kind of like that. Almost like it's like a picture frame and that's his sort of, yeah, his thing. And what do we want? So again, I don't want to take away from the journaling aspect, because you can journal here and here, and then obviously, assuming I've done it correctly, you've got, yeah, tuck spots on either side, which is actually quite fun. So there, yeah, and sort of there-ish. Just gonna, yeah, ease that up a bit. So yeah, there. Right, righty. I like that there, so I'm going to just go ahead with that. I don't want to put any lace behind it or anything. I don't think it needs it. These are my words. I've got a printout on my Buy Me a Coffee, offering these words for free if you do want to use them. You'll have to print them onto tea-dyed paper or card, because I don't know how to do that. But in terms of using the words, the option is there if you'd like it. Right, looking in my tray. Need to think about this one. Don't know if possibly checking things everywhere. Possibly a sticker. Let me just have a bit of a root around because otherwise this video will be really long. So I'll just be 2 secs. Okay, I think I'm going to go with some stickers. So I found a couple of leaf stickers that have a little bit of a curve to them. So I'm thinking we can try to get one of the stickers behind him like that, and it kind of follows the curve of my collaging. So easier said than done. I didn't peel this off whilst we were on pause because I actually wanted to show you exactly what I meant with the curve of the sticker, just in case it's helpful to see where I was going with it. Right, let's got to try and stick it under there, which was easier when it wasn't sticky. Okay, we got it. Let's see. So it ended somewhere there, didn't it? So, oops. I mean, I could just cut it, but hey, don't stick it on there. Okay, I regret pressing play on the video now. I should have just made this look a lot easier than it is, but we'll make it work. Okay, let's just do that. There, that's fine. Not quite what I meant, but close enough. And then this one curves in the other direction, and so I felt like we could have this one go like that, and then it's kind of merging with the greenery behind him, or making it seem like there's greenery behind him. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. There we go. So slip that there. There we go. And again, yeah, I really like that. I finally got to use my fox, and you know what? I love him better on this page in the way that we've used him than if I'd used him on the previous page. So moral of the story is, if stuff isn't quite working out how you want it, just save that piece that you really like, and before you know it, you may just find somewhere better for it to go anyway. Because that is a really cool page, if I do say so myself. So, woohoo. Righty ho. And that, I think, is your lot today. Because I don't know what I'm going to put in the double tuck spot. So if we remind myself, we have a tuck like that, so we could have a small tag or something just sitting in there, and then we also have an upper tuck, or a side tuck I suppose, in there. So if we pretend, that's too small. I was just going to show you what it would look like, you know, with two things in. That's really cool. I love that. Okay, well, that's me then. That is me for today. Another page done. Obviously I do need to go in with the usual. I need to go in with extra glue in. I know, I'm the broken record. And just do a little bit of extra inking. But that is us, and I will hopefully catch you on the next one. It's really coming together. I love it. And I feel like I don't know, every page is different, but I feel like equally we've gotten more and more adventurous, or I've gotten more and more adventurous as we've gone on, where, I mean, Yeah, love it. Okay, so what have we got next? Oh yes, oh this one. We've got two like this type of a pocket, triangle pockets. Which I think I was going to try and be adventurous again with some napkins. So stay tuned for that. I'll catch you on the next video, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll speak to you soon. Thanks so much for watching, and bye bye for now.